What is up, YouTube? Chunks here back again with another video. Today, let's talk about what's next after UFC's 306, the main three fights that I talked about on my first video. So, of course, we're going to start off with Diego Lopez beating Brian Ortega by unanimous decision. In that first round, this punch had Ortega hurt bad. He was almost out. I don't know how he survived it. He ate a head kick in the second or third round. I don't remember which one this was in. But today we're going to discuss about what's next for both fighters. So let's start off with Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega stated in multiple interviews that he wants to move up to 155. He said that before the fight with Diego Lopez that was booked for the first time on UFC 303, that he was supposed to fight at the Sphere at 155. So if he's still planning to go up to 155, I could see someone like a Beneil Dariush fighting him for his first fight at 155. I mean, Beneil's on a 2-fight losing streak, losing to Charles Oliveira and then Arman Tsarukyan. For whatever reason, if Brian Ortega also decides to stay at 145, I could see a fight with Arnold Allen happening. Or maybe even, I know some people were saying Josh Emmett maybe. I could see either Josh Emmett or most likely I believe Arnold Allen is a good candidate for another fight against Ortega. As for Diego Lopez, after the fight with Brian Ortega, said he's ranked 3. He wants a title fight next. He thinks he deserves a title fight next. And after a performance like that, I could definitely see a reason why Dana White or anyone in the UFC would give him a title fight. So obviously, I would have to say either the winner of Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria on UFC 308, or if those two aren't ready and the UFC wants to make an interim title fight beforehand, I could also see a title fight with Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander Volkanovski has stated since his loss to Ilia Topuria in February of this year at UFC 298 that his next fight is going to be for a title. He doesn't care who has the belt. He knows he's going to fight for that belt next. So if Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria are out for a while, whoever wins that fight, I believe that the UFC could make an interim title with Alexander Volkanovski returning to fight Diego Lopez. And then, as we saw for the co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko defeats Alexa Grasso by unanimous decision. It's a pretty wrestle-heavy approach from Shevchenko, taking her down, controlling her, punches from the top. Multiple submission attempts from Alexa Grasso, albeit she tried, but unfortunately she couldn't get it done. So let's talk about what's next for Grasso. Grasso, I could see taking on the winner of Erin Blanchfield or Rose Namajunas. That seems like the best fight to make. Whoever wins that is in line for a title shot next, because I don't believe that the UFC would make a fourth fight right away, seeing as how that was a pretty dominant performance from Valentina. I mean, as we saw with Figueiredo and Moreno, they made 4 fights, but I mean, I really can't see a fourth fight after how Alexa Grasso lost on Saturday. And as for Shevchenko, we saw Manon Fiorot. She weighed in as the backup fighter for UFC 306. So I could see that's just the easiest choice to make. Those two fight for the title next. I don't see anyone else in line. So let's talk about the main event. Merab defeats Sean O'Malley by unanimous decision. In my first video, I said if Sean O'Malley can't get him out of there in the first 2 rounds, I could see Merab winning by decision, which he did. Pretty wrestle-heavy approach. He mixed in his striking. He's just took him down at will and just played with him after that. So let's talk about what we could see happen next for Sean O'Malley, the former champion. A fight with Corey Sandhagen is a more ideal fight other than the other option that could be Henry Cejudo. I doubt the UFC will give Sean O'Malley another wrestle-heavy fighter, as in the shorter Henry Cejudo. But the much more fun stylistic matchup would be against Corey Sandhagen, who just lost against Umar Nurmagomedov. If I had to pick, I believe that Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley would be the fight to make next for the two for a number 1 contender spot, maybe. I just feel like it's way too soon to give Sean O'Malley another wrestler. So let's talk about Merab Dvalishvili. Obviously, everybody knows Umar Nurmagomedov is next for the title. He said it in multiple interviews. He said Dana White's told him multiple times that he's next for the title. So this fight just makes sense, as we saw during the interview, the post-fight interview. Merab was kind of nervous to answer about what about he thinks for Umar Nurmagomedov yet, or for next for the title. And then in the post-fight conference, he even said that he thinks Figueiredo should get it instead of Umar. But, Dana White has said, Umar has said, Sean Shelby, everyone else has said Umar is definitely fighting for the title next. So that fight is going to be very hard for Merab, I believe, due to the fact that Umar is also a great wrestler and has good striking, as we've seen in his other fights. So once again, guys, thank you for watching. If you guys have any opinions, comments, leave them in the description or in the comments below. I look forward to reading all of them. If you guys have any video suggestions or anything I can do to, make this look better, our production, let me know. And thank you guys for watching.